Hello, this is Chris and welcome back to Chef Wannabe's Life. Today we are making a Dollar Tree tier tray. You know how I love my tier trays. So there are an abundance of things you can use for tier trays at the Dollar Tree. Chargers, plates, cake pan, pie pan, the burner covers, and I am using the small burner cover for the top. I'm using a cake pan and a pie pan. I've got a set of little candlesticks there that I found at the thrift store for $1. And I am going to paint all of this with my white chalk paint. That leaf topper is something that I had laying around from something apparently I no longer have. This is even Dollar Tree chalk paint. I started with the big container and I couldn't get the lid off. So I decided to make it a true Dollar Tree thing, which actually it isn't because the candlesticks and the little like goblet thing that I'm using were $1, but they were at a thrift store. So I'm even using Dollar Tree chalk paint along with the Flopsy Mopsy oh my gosh, it lost me. Foam brush. So it took a couple of coats for me to get this done. Remember, my home is kind of a farmhouse feel. It's farmhouse and modern, if you can even imagine that together. But I was not concerned that this was all covered perfectly with paint because, first of all, it's all going to be covered with my goodies that I put on it. And secondly, I want it to look rustic and rough and beat up and extremely imperfect. To me, that is what especially farmhouse or country style things are when you make them homemade. If you want perfection, buy something from a factory. If you want homemade with love and all of that, then let it be imperfect. So here we go, and the lighting is going to change because literally this took over the course of a whole day because, as usual, I was multitasking, and so I had to let these dry, and then I did another coat on them. The burner covers, like that I'm using for the top, you really only have to paint the bottom so that it's all white. But if you want to paint the whole thing, it's fine. I really love this tier tray. It turned out a little smaller than I had anticipated, but you can use the pizza pans from Dollar Tree too. That's what I probably should have used because I have this on my dining room table, and then I could move this to one of my end tables in my living room. You guys, can you just give me a thumbs up if you're into tier trays? Because I don't think I'll ever tire of them. And they're so easy to change out for a holiday. Even if you don't want to decorate your whole house, just do a little display on your tier tray and it's awesome. So I used Gorilla Glue, but I used the transparent kind that does not foam up. And you're going to see when I glue this, I believe it's this one, there's just paint dripping everywhere. Well, we all know I don't see well, but secondly, I can just dab a little white paint over it or just leave it because nobody's going to see it because it's going to have things on it. And you don't have to just use this for tchotchkes. When I serve like a breakfast or a brunch, I'll put different kinds of mini muffins on each tier. Or I'll put some bagels on each one. Or you can do cupcakes, or you could do, anything like that. If you're going to put food down, all I would suggest is to cut a piece of parchment paper the size of your tray or of your, that level, that tier, just to protect it. I did not clear coat mine or anything. Like, it's in the raw, baby. It is in the raw. I could not love it more. And at the end, I'll show you I think 3 ways that I've styled mine, one for spring, one for summer, and then one that is like a faith-inspired one. I can't, it is ridiculous. This is my big treat. When I get all of the work done that I need to do, then I treat myself to restyling my tier trays. Probably before anybody's even seen them the way they were styled previously. So, this isn't difficult, but I just want you to, also to know, the Dollar Tree has perfect candlesticks to use for this, to flip them and put them on top of each other. Do you know not a single one of my Dollar Trees had them? But 2 weeks after I made this, I went to a Dollar Tree in another city, and of course they had 7,000 of them. So, I made sure to pick a few up so that if I decide to make another tier tray, because it will happen, friends. I also have one, a really rustic one in my bathroom that I just thrifted for a couple of cake pans, round cake pans, and then I used a like silver tall candlestick in between. Oh my gosh, I love that one too. This, you can see, is just almost like a mini goblet sort of thing. I kind of would like to have had a taller tier in here after the fact, but you know what? I love it. And I'm not going to stop loving it. I'll just have to make another one. And then another one. And possibly another one. Then I thought, how am I going to hold that thing on top? Because I'm not sure even Gorilla Glue is going to hold that on top. The leaf thing. Ugh. I held it for probably, I don't know, 2 minutes just to make sure it stayed, and it's going nowhere. Ooh, sorry about that little bumpity bump. And you can measure everything so it's perfectly on center. I didn't, and I did indeed get a couple of these, or one of them a little bit off, but when you turn it just the right way, you can't tell at all. Or you can just eyeball it. Really, if you just make an X across it, you'll have your middle, and you can just go back through with the paintbrush and touch that up right over the top of it. Just felt like so much work at the moment. And so, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Here are a few samples. I will see you next time, and in the meantime, do not forget to eat good food. Bye, everybody.